Hey, hey, hey! It is GG South Florida here, and we are happy everybody has come. My name is Robin Larrabee. I'm founder and leader of GEG South Florida, and you're all probably sitting there saying, what is on her head? Well, it will all become obvious in just a few minutes, but you'll have to wait because the rest of us are going to be introduced. So take it away, Eric.
I'm Dr. Eric Jorgensen. I'm a co-founder and one of the leaders with Global GEG. I am a teacher at Palm Beach Central High School. Danielle.
Hi, everybody. Danielle Clark here, GEG South Florida Inspire Captain and Learn Captain for right now. And I am from Verde K-8 in Boca Raton, Florida. And Jody.
Hi guys, I'm Jody Wolfthal. I'm currently at Forest Hill High School teaching high school biology. I'm a Google educator trainer and I am the Empower Captain here with GEG South Florida. And Stephanie, take it away.
Hi, I am Stephanie Hunt. I am a Dean of Students at Carver Middle School in Palm Beach County, and I serve as our share captain. So I reach out to a lot of you on Twitter, on Facebook, and here in the chat, and I'm really excited that you guys are all here together.
Yes, thank you so much for being here, everybody. We've got people from all over. I've seen Australia. I've got my Polo Park fam in there. I saw some of my Donna Estridge supporters. My best friends are in the chat. This is fun, guys. Thank you so much for being here and supporting us.
Yes, we really appreciate the support. So that being said, are you ready, Danielle? Are we taking this away?
Let's do it.
Right. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. So I was gauging in the chat where we are with our Bitmoji design. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I've seen more towards the 0, 1, 2, a couple 3s, a couple 4s, and I've got some 5s in there, which is really awesome that you guys are here, because we're going to throw in a couple new things, and then we're also going to be chatting as a group of educators on how you use this, okay? So something as simple as just a dedicated design, but to go back on what Robin said, we are all dressed like our Bitmojis tonight, which, you know, is a little extra, but I'm kind of loving it. So we're going to hop right in, just showing a couple examples here. And this is the original Bitmoji Classroom that I designed for myself for this year.
That's really cool. I like how you've got all those globes up there and everything, because you teach social studies, don't you?
/IT. So it's history and IT, Robin, which is like, for me, I wanted a dedicated space that I would have created if I were in real life. So I would have had my history stuff up there to remind the kids, you know, what we're learning, where we are, where we're going, and then also my problem solving process, different things that has to do with coding. So I kind of collided the two worlds and brought them in there. And the first thing that I thought of was, where can I have a dedicated space to put my goals or focus for the day and have my kids be able to go to one solid spot and be able to click links and work through it. Now, with virtual learning, I think all of my South Florida people can agree that we really don't know how this is going to go, but we need to be able to be super flexible, right? You need to be able to know that if a student is having tech issues, or if you're having tech issues, which all of us are experiencing, giving your students the ability to be student-paced is something that these Bitmoji classrooms do really easily.
Right. So I'm going to back you up just for 1 second, because I think, and this is one of what I think is the most important things, and we've discussed this, and I don't know if it's on the top of everybody's head, but like you said, when the kids open up your Bitmoji classroom, that's a reflection of what your classroom would have looked like.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes people will think, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to put on there? Well, what's in your classroom?
Yep.
And what would you ordinarily have? Because that speaks volumes for the type of person you are, the type of teacher you are. Yeah. So I think it's great that you were able to incorporate all those things, because if you go back to your classroom, I just want to
I hope nobody minds. So if I go full screen, I can't see myself. So it's a little weird, like talking to the screen.
All the way over on the corner on the shelf on the right-hand side, there's a picture.
That's my baby. And I don't mean Bill. I don't. That's my husband and my daughter. So I'll show you guys how to do that today too.
Very cool.
I'm really excited. So Robin and I have gone through this back and forth a million times. And here's kind of the agenda for today, my friends. We're going to hit the intro, which we're at now. We're going through it. We're big talkers, okay? And then we're going to talk about backgrounds. Then we're going to go through all the stuff, okay? This is a lot of stuff. Where do I get it and how do I get it ethically? How do I know that I'm not taking somebody else's work? And how do I know to bring it in and really manipulate it? So we're going to do that design part. And then I'm going to show you sound, video, linking, and then the fun stuff like my little Giphies, which you'll see here on some of the other Bitmoji classrooms.
And in the chat, put how you say Giphy, because if you're team Jif like the peanut butter, then you might want to leave. Just saying. Just saying.
I know, it's so hard. It's so hard. So while I have your guys' attention, this is Jody. So you saw her. It's her biology classroom. Jody, if you're in there, you want to hop in and share how you plan on using your classroom?
Yeah, absolutely. So something that's really big at my high school is that we need to like put up our essential question, our daily objective. So I plan on using that cork board as kind of like my board configuration. So that's where I plan on basically subbing out the little links for the different videos that are in there. So there's all these really awesome things. There's videos, there's different links that are on it. And this one specifically is for one topic. And then I'm basically going to change it for the next topic.
Awesome.
And make it a little different. So I'm excited. Yeah.
That really opens up the door for differentiation too. If a student hops in and they know that they work best with your video, they're going to start right there. That's cool. All right. Dr. Darth Grader. Now, I made this with Eric, and it's a little extra, but I kind of love it.
Yeah, it's a lot like, it's very much a lot like my classroom. Even one of my colleagues, when I posted that yesterday, I went in and set up my classroom, they asked if I had set up my Comic-Con display booth yet, because that's kind of how my classroom ends up looking with a lot of the integration of the pop culture, whether it's, you know, movies or comics, or, you know, I have posters of Martin Luther King and Steve Jobs, just hitting on all the pop culture and how they can bring that into the literature that they're reading.
Yeah, and like Robin said, when we started to sit down as a group months ago, when we first started to get to know each other, we talked about our Bitmoji classrooms. And we talked about the little things. And then we asked each other, like, what were the top 3 things you need in your Bitmoji classroom? Coffee. Anybody else?
I needed coffee. I needed coffee in mine. I definitely needed to integrate, you know, Star Wars, because Dr. Darth Grader being my social media handle, but also just emphasizing the things that can, you know, really influence the kids to read. You know, there's towards that top right, there's the poster about reading, but, you know, right below that, it's the comic books. You know, I think a lot of times it's forgotten that even if they're reading comic books or graphic novels, they're reading. That's really important. I think we also agreed on, you know, a lot of us have family photos. You can see over, so left-hand side of the screen, but it would be over my right shoulder for my Bitmoji. There's that, you know, there's the picture of my wife and I that we recently had done.
I love it. That's one of the most fun things to do, is bring in those personal elements, because our students are going to hear us, they're going to see us, but let's be honest, we're all going to be a little crazy those first couple weeks, and we want our personalities to shine through. And it's not always going to be fun, but at least they'll get a little bit of comfort by seeing that we're still vested in that classroom, even though it's virtual. So this was really cool to help you make, Eric. Thank you. All right, I'm going to keep hopping through here. One of the cool elements that I want to showcase first, just so that it's in the back of your minds, is recoloring. Now, I recolored this in neon because neon is near and dear to my heart. Little neon, little sparkle. I'm really happy about it. I know, Robin, you're very shocked. But
Totally.
Using the free use images within Google sometimes gets a little irritating, right? If we see something that we want and we want to go take it, and we can't always do that. So what I'm going to show you is some of the cool formatting options within Classroom that can just completely transform your space, and it's still ethically digital citizenship. Check, check, check. We're good.
Yes, definitely.
And then one of the other things we're going to talk about after design is using your space in a million different capacities. So this was one of the ones that our school district chose to feature because it's a Bitmoji break. I have all kinds of things linked into here. I can place it up. I can put on a timer. And Robin, you being in high school, this is something where the kids can go in and they could really work independently through this.
Definitely. And we really have to be conscientious of the fact that these kids are going to need a break.
Mm-hmm.
I know I was complaining this morning in one of the 5,000-6,000 meetings we had that it's hard sitting all day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're teaching in high school, at least, the kids, when we're on a block schedule, the kids are there for about 2 hours, but we all know that half of them end up going to the bathroom at some point. But then at least they get that walk break in between. These kids are going to be on the computer from literally morning until afternoon. So we need to build in some kind of a break.
And I noticed in the chat over there, my girl Chaya, you are here. So what I did is I actually found some fun, you could probably even call them juvenile, but there's some singing slugs on YouTube. I've carved out like 20 seconds for this, maybe 10, but these are fun. We have, you know, our nice little ad here. Get us through. Come on.
Yeah, sometimes it gets slowed down because of the...
I mean, who doesn't love this?
I think the high school kids would be rolling their eyes, but inwardly thinking, this is flipping hysterical.
It doesn't have to be structured to your content, everybody. This can be fun. It's supposed to be fun. So bringing it back, I'm also really excited to bring Dr. Hunt in. Dr. Hunt, please come talk to us about your space.
Hey guys, I'm actually not a classroom teacher. I'm a dean of students. So students come to my office for a multitude of reasons, sometimes because they had a fight or just a bad day. So the elements in my classroom are actually for SEL. So I have my morning meeting minutes that's on my screen. I also have a playlist of music and motivational videos. So if you click on the flowers, it'll actually be a YouTube playlist of music to kind of get us in a softer, more gentler frame of mind.
I love that. And we're going to talk about the TVs. Everybody that has seen it is absolutely loving that we can take some of those features and make them super interactive. So thank you for sharing with us. This is really cool. All right, so we are hopping into it. So teachers in different districts are expected to have different office hours as well as classroom expectations and things like that. So keep that in mind when you're designing your space, okay? So my classroom and my office, I guess, are two completely different backgrounds. So I'm probably going to start with my classroom today, but then I can show you guys some of the other little, you know, snips just to take it from classroom to office, kind of like day to night wear.
You mean day pajamas to night pajamas?
You know, as long as your top is good, it's virtual, remember?
Okay, all right, yeah, that point.
This was another one that I set up just for an example here. Synchronous work centers. So being able to link your stuff in, we're gonna go over this as well. And you notice I really try to bring my Bitmoji in at all times. So that's kind of like my home button. They see it, they know there's a little bit of an accountability. It might not be me monitoring, but my Bitmoji's always watching. I'll probably
Good idea.
be with my kids.
Love that. Love that.
So here's more of a blank one. And you notice I'm going through this and I'm hoping you guys see it, that all I'm doing is recoloring that background. So keep that in mind here because we're going to start designing. All right. So for all of my zeros and my ones out there, let's open a blank slide.
Yes, if you want to play along as Danielle walks you through, you certainly can. Also, you can replay this. This is going to be recorded. It's going to be on YouTube forever, as far as we know. And if it seems like it's going too fast, then you can always slow down the speed when you rewatch it. So don't get frustrated if it seems like we're jumping ahead. There, no intention on that whatsoever.
Mhm.
But keep that in the back of your mind that you can go back and figure out what you might have missed.
And we love spending time with you guys, but let's be honest, it's a Thursday night, everybody's exhausted, and we're gonna kind of go through it, not quickly, but it does get a little exciting, and you kind of like go down a rabbit hole, for lack of better words.
Yes,
When you
yes,
start
yes.
designing. All right, so step one, we are going to find our background. Now, when you start designing your Bitmoji Classroom, you want to go instantly to tile floor, white wall. You want to start picking out those keywords that you would normally use in a physical design aspect. Keywords don't always work that way. So what we're going to do at the top of our toolbar, the block that says insert, we're going to click insert, we're going to select image, and we're going to search the web. Now, I'm going to sort of use keywords that sound a little funny, but when you start seeing what comes up and your search will deepen, you'll notice how it works. Okay, so I searched floor with wall. You can add background, doesn't matter. And you'll
And
notice,
sometimes you'll get different results.
yeah,
If you put floor wall, you'll get a set of results. If you put floor wall background, you'll get other results.
right.
So you can just play around with it until you find something that really kind of jives with what you're looking for.
And feel free to pick whatever one you want. If you want to work in the exact same steps that I'm using, you'll notice here, when you click on it, it'll give you a blue check. Okay, once that blue check is selected, I'm going to go down to the bottom blue bar here and click insert. Now, I'm going to give you guys a second to find yours, and I'm just going to kind of give you a couple tips as I go here. So
Good.
tip number one, you could replace your background. So for those of us that are familiar with PowerPoint and slides, replacing your background means it's stable, right? You know it's there and it's not moving. However, during something like a design or an interactive Bitmoji Classroom office or locker, when you apply a background, it takes away a little bit of those editing options. So once you have your background in, specifically in slides, it's a little bit tougher to format. Okay, so you have
Also,
to
sometimes, sorry, when
Oh,
you insert an image as a background, sometimes it stretches because Slides is trying to take that image and fit it onto a slide where the dimensions weren't meant to fit on a slide. So you can play around with it. Maybe you like the stretched version. This is, again, so completely up to you, whatever it is that you're looking to do.
Yes. Okay, so since Robin talked about stretching, I'm going to move on to that.
Sorry.
Please don't be the middle stretcher. Oof. And if you
It hurts.
keep going, it won't even let me do it because it knows. I just don't want to do it.
Just think when you think that you're going to stretch it from the middle, just think of your waistline stretching. And I don't think anybody actually likes that image. So maybe from now on, you'll never do that because you don't want the waistline.
Do you hear that, Mackenzie McCune? I saw you in there. Don't stretch from the middle. All right, but I am going to move it down into the corner, okay? And this is just because when I go into presentation mode, I don't want to have a white border. If anything, being a little bit off is going to be better. So if you're off, it's okay. Don't stress it. So what I'm going to do is I like to still hold down my shift key. I'm not sure, Robin, do you know, does that still do in Google Slides? Okay. So I'm going to hold down my shift key and I'm going to pull as far as I can from the top right corner. Now you'll notice that guidelines show up when you get to a flat line. That just means it's even. You're looking for those. You like those. Okay? Now, with this background, I love it, but I gotta stretch it, and it gets me every time. So now that I know I have stretched my dimensions to the top, Robin's like, don't watch, don't watch.
It hurts.
I'm gonna pull it over. And luckily, it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Right.
But play around with it because some of
Yes.
them are not having it. Okay? So now that we have a background, hopefully all of you are there. If you're not, I am noticing a couple people in the chat are having issues with their Bitmoji. The girls are here to help. We also have a tutorial. If you scroll all the way to the top, or if you follow us on YouTube, you can watch that. And again, this is being recorded, so please feel free to follow along, go back, rewatch, and we're just gonna kind of cover everything as much as we can, okay?
I just dropped in the chat the link for your tutorial video that if people aren't up to this quite yet, they can watch.
Awesome. Okay, so now that I'm here, I'm going to click on my image, and if I go straight up, it says Format Options. Here's the fun part about changing the color of your background. I chose this one so that I can show you guys how to put in a window. I like how it has a little bit of overcast here. I think it's kind of like that fun, either beginning of the morning if you get there early, or end of day where you're like, I'm starting to see the sunset in my classroom. It's probably time to go.
Some of us wait until the sun goes all the way down.
Right.
But yes, you're right. You're right.
Well, I did have my first day on elementary hours, and even though it was just a staff meeting, I don't know if I'm ready. So I feel you. I'm going to click recolor over here, and right now it says no recolor. But it does give you some preloaded options that Google, with its big, beautiful brain, believes that is going to look best. So you have some fun options with gray tones, which will match pretty much anything you find in clip art. You have the option of going full teal, which, again, this is supposed to be fun. You can't paint your classroom floors teal. That's fun. And then you've got some darker ones, which is really cool with the texture on this wall. So Eric and Robin, if you're covering Edgar Allan Poe, maybe you want to make it like a dark theme. I don't know. ELA is not my thing, but does that sound? I mean, that sounds like pretty good. I matched those.
I know. I'm pretty sure that Cynthia Glazier is watching this, and I know she's a big Poe fan.
Oh.
Now, maybe not teaching, the early literature, the early grades for literature, but still something that is a reflection of your personality.
Yeah.
Maybe you want something dramatic. Ooh. So, just a suggestion.
Spooky season. Orange, for all my Gator fans out there, when you start throwing up the blue and orange, it's always fun. Neon. And then you've got just this solid dark brown. And this is such a fun, this is like put in your house color. I love this. So I'm going to go ahead and work in this one today. All right, so in the chat, if you can just share with us, just make sure we're all moving at the same pace here. How does everybody feel? We can keep going with backgrounds, but I'm going to start adding some stuff. So if you have background questions, throw those in there. Oh, my UF coach is here. Hey, Krista, I can't wait to see all of your Gator stuff. All right, so we're going back up to our toolbar here now, and we're going to go to Insert, and we're going to select Image again, and we're going to search the web. Now, instead of my floor with wall, I'm going to start searching for my items. I'm a big whiteboard fan. I use my whiteboard for just about everything in my class. I love to write. I love markers. I love the creativity of it. I love that I can just wipe it right off with my arm and my arm's all black at the end of the day. I love that.
Yes, definitely. And the kids like it.
Yeah, and it gets all over my shirt, and then I've got paint.
War paint. Yeah.
That's teaching, folks. That's teaching. Yeah. So when you hop in here, you're going to see that just by searching whiteboard, you might not find what it is you're looking for, okay? This one I kind of like because it does have its red markers. There's ones down here that are on, let me scroll up a little bit. This one down here is on a tripod stand, which is really cool if you don't want to put it on your wall. You can also search Smartboard and see what comes up for you as well. But I'm going to go ahead and insert this top one because I do like the idea that some Bitmojis have markers in their hand. So if you want to portray yourself writing on the board, there's already markers and an eraser there. Makes it more real for those kids, and I love that. So I'm going to insert it. And it comes in so pretty. That's a crisp whiteboard, Robin.
It is. It's huge. I wish well, I do have one of those IFPs, but man, could you imagine like your whole wall just being the whiteboard?
Listen, at
That would be amazing.
I had a beautiful whiteboard and it was huge. It was so big, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of educators that hear this and they're going to say, preach, girl. My projector came right over top of it.
Yes.
Right over the middle of it. So it's like, when it's all said and done, like my projector was like this big, but I could really only show about this much of it.
That happens. It does.
So I'm going to leave this big, beautiful whiteboard here this big, and it's going to be perfect. And now I'm going to start bringing in my items. So when you start designing, think about what you're going to use this for. Is this your sitting space? Your students are walking in, they're going to see you hanging out, standing behind a podium, sitting on a bench. Are you at your desk? Are you sitting on your desk? Are you flying?
Doing a cartwheel.
Who knows? The world is your oyster with this. It really
Walking
is.
your flamingo. There's all sorts of
I can't
opportunities
wait.
here.
I feel like Florence might make an appearance. Giphy is waiting.
Yeah.
It's up there. It's calling to me.
Okay.
All right, so back to image in our toolbar, search the web. I'm gonna bring in my desk. And I'm gonna put transparent on it just because when you search desk, it kind of gives you a lot of options. Google puts in a lot of real life pictures because they do a lot of digital design with people. People can hop into any portions of the Google suite and design marketing, advertising, business cards, flyers, you name it. So I think that Google does a really good job, especially for the corporate world when budgets are concerned, to find real life objects that people can use that are stock photos and free to use.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
What happens when you don't put transparent?
If you don't put transparent, it's going to give you a couple different types. So if you notice here, these ones are real life. That's somebody.
So what happens if you drag that into your Bitmoji Classroom?
I put that in. It's going to say unable to create.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Or it's going to give me a background. So they look
just so that people understand.
They look more like pictures versus items.
So you want transparent, so you have just the item and not a setting or a scene around it.
Right. Now, tech tip. There is an awesome website called remove.bg. Throw that in.
Putting it in the chat.
Go for it. So remove.bg is a website that will take away the background of your images. Super cool. You don't even have to sign in. You can actually drop the image in here or upload it if you save it. But stemming off of my tech tip, if it's an image from inside Google Slide, so just how we took it, you would have to save that image and then upload it. You can't just take it directly from your slide. If you see here, it won't let me drag it. So I can't really take it any further. But say you're searching for a Yeti cup. We all have them. We all bring them. I'm trying to find my camera here. There it is. We all bring our Yeti cups everywhere. Tervises, Yetis, you know, those cups, right? When you search those in Google Images, it's not going to come up the way that you want it. So if you go to google.com and I'm going to search Yeti cup.
Marcy, it's funny because I did the same thing earlier today. I had a picture of my dogs and I was like, why not? So I brought it into Remove BG and I had just my Bitmoji with my dogs.
I love that. And that the other thing is all of the personal like movements and stuff, like being able to throw yourself in there. I did it with my Bitmoji earlier. I just had a selfie, threw myself in there. It removed my wall. And now I can place myself anywhere. So that's really cool if you want to make a digital yearbook with your kids. We're doing Viking of the Month at Verdi. So I look forward to taking a picture of my principal and next to a student and being able to throw things in the background and just making that experience so much more personalized and customized. is going to make it so much more special for you and the people that are viewing it. So all stakeholders feel like they had just a cool moment to celebrate. So that's awesome. All right, so you'll see all these images. We can get Yeti images for days, but we're not always sure we can take them. I mean, you could take them, but I'm not telling you to take them. Yeah. So in Tools, so on the right-hand side, it gives you a little drop down. And I apologize that this is a little small, guys, just because I don't know how to talk to just myself without saying anything. But
I talk to myself all the time, so.
I'm not there yet, Robin. I'm only on year 3. Well, year 4. I'm going into year 4. All right, so if I want to take this coffee cup, or if I wanted to take this sand one, I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And then I'm going to take this image, I'm going to drag it up to my Remove tab, and I'm just going to drop it.
Yes, just don't let go of it as you're dragging it.
Right. And my background's gone.
Woohoo!
I know. I don't have a desk to set it on. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste that bad boy right in there. I don't even have a desk yet, and I'm already concerned about coffee. That's so me. I'm in. I can smell it already. So I'm just going to leave this sitting up here, folks. I'm going to drag it onto my desk. So let me go back in here and search the web. And I'm going to put that transparent back in there. Now, here's the 2 ways to start setting up your classroom. If you like real objects, so this desk set right here looks a little bit more real. That's like something you would see in a lab or a teacher's classroom or an office. Whereas this one, the second and third one here, they look a little bit more, for lack of better words, cartoonish. So the clip art versions. I like that because it's Bitmoji, so that's just my style. But for those
sometimes it's nice to kind of clash the 2 worlds.
I was just going to say,
really
do that.
That's what we're doing right now, isn't it? It's like we are mixing the real world with the virtual world, and sometimes it works with the Bitmoji classrooms.
It really does work. There are so many cool ones that I see, and I'm just like, wow, I would have never thought about the textures and the colors and just the differences of the design aspects. They almost mimic off each other, and it makes your Bitmoji classroom look more 3D because it is a flat image, and that's hard to design sometimes. So keeping that in mind, you got a vision, try it out and go for it. It may work. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw this one in here. Insert. I like the brown on browns. It is transparent. And I noticed that it is going to sit pretty perfectly down in this corner.
Now, what if I wanted to put it on the other side of the room, but facing?
You're going to ask me that. So when you rotate,
I'm that kid. I am that kid right here.
Yep. When you rotate objects, you can right-click on it, or you can use the Arrange tool at the top, and it'll be right here in the middle. Rotate, and you can flip it. So you can rotate it, and it'll give you a free rotate, or you can flip it as well. And if I wanted to, now I can put it over here.
I'm not telling you how to make your room at all. I just,
I mean, it's
want
fine.
to make sure we have those options.
Isn't it like every teacher's room is designed based off of plugs? Find me the space with the most plugs.
Yes.
I need all the plugs.
And that's so nice in Bitmoji classrooms. You don't have to worry about the outlets.
I actually tried to add an outlet for.
I was going to say you could do that
for Eric's coffee pot, and then instead I found the Giphy, which was really cool. All right, so let's get into the fun stuff. Searching for decor. Let's find the decor. So I love inspirational quotes, and I'm gonna type poster. So here's one of those times where you're gonna find tons of options, just tons. So what you can do is you can bring in inspirational posters that you see in here. If you have inspirational posters in your classroom and you have images of them, like you took pictures or you found them online, either in the preview before you bought them on Amazon, whatever it is, you can grab them, bring them into your Bitmoji Classroom, and by just clicking one formatting option, they instantly become dimensional on your wall. So I'm going to choose this Think Positive one. I think that's a friendly reminder that all of our students need. And I really like the colors of it. I think it looks great with my background here. It's got a little bit of texture, which I think is fun. And I'm gonna go ahead and just make it a little bit smaller. And then while it's selected, I'm going to click Format Options. And then on this right-hand side, I'm just gonna drop shadow it. Did you see that little bitty bit it did, Robin?
Yes. And well, you can make it bigger depending on where your light source is coming from. And it adds life to it. It's the coolest thing. It makes all the difference in the world sometimes, even on the smallest objects.
Yep. So for my designers in there, you can extend it more distant. You can actually blur it as well and make it look like it's kind of sticking off your wall. You have a lot of options. Super fun. And again, it adds a little bit of that design aspect that you don't normally see on a flat surface, especially within an image. Right. So other fun things that you can add are thumbtacks, which, you know, for those of us that know when they fall on the floor and you have like an absolute panic in your classroom for the entire day that a student is going to find them.
Because they always do.
That's why I don't use thumbtacks.
Somehow they drop out of your hand at the front of the room on your bulletin board and they end up in the last seat of the room and somebody sits on it.
So
it's inevitable.
So stressful. So when you start to bring in objects that are curved or what's the word I'm looking for? Vertical, you want to take a look at the angle that you're putting them. So if I'm bringing in this hot pink thumbtack, because I mean, it is life. Look how pretty that is. I'm going to make it.
We all need hot pink thumbtacks.
Teeny, teeny, tiny. I feel like I'm the hot pink in your life, Robin.
You're the sparkle in my eye.
And for my fellas on here, I saw Kevin, I saw Chris. If you're not into the pink, I mean, if you are, that's way cool. If you're not, or you really like your school colors, or if you're like my guy Eric, where everything has to be clear because it needs to be concise and consistent and pattern and matching, which I appreciate. Same thing, guys. We can go over to these format options. We can recolor, make them black, make them silver, make them gold, make them neon green, which isn't very pretty in a thumbtack, but I'm into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and make it clear. It's gonna stick out right there. And now I have a 3-dimensional feature of a poster on my wall.
Very cool. Love it.
So while I'm on this, I'm just gonna show you how to add a border. So if this Think Positive poster was the picture of me, my husband, and my daughter, Carter, what you can do is select the image. So let's pretend this is an image. So Robin, this is a picture of your dogs. You just brought it in.
Where did I bring it in?
You could bring it in. I just don't have any of my images ready.
No, I'm just adding.
I would love a picture of your dogs. You're going to go back to your design toolbar here, and it's under border color. So border color is going to give you all of these options. It's going to start recognizing the different colors within your theme. You can also change those, and you can select a really cool border. I'm going to go ahead and do white just because I think it's going to stick out. And then the border weight is the dashes to the right of the pencil. And the bigger you go, the thicker the line gets. So if I select a 4, it's going to show me a border. And now
nice.
A picture frame.
Nice.
If I wanted to, I could then go over and manipulate my drop shadow a little bit more to make it look more like a frame versus a canvas. But again, it's your room. Do whatever you want. I love that.
And you don't have to worry about like spending all of your teacher lead money on designing your room. It's free. You want a palm tree in there? Put a palm tree.
I love a palm tree.
You want candles? Put candles.
Yeah. Have flame everywhere. There's no fire marshal in your Bitmoji classroom. There's no AP. Dr. Hunt isn't knocking on my door saying, is your microwave unplugged and put away?
Hurry up, hurry up.
All right, guys. Another really cool one that I saw is lighting on the feature of fire. Yeah. So I'm going to do hanging lights and transparent. I haven't really searched this yet, so I'm not sure what's going to come up. Oh, but there's all kinds of fun ones. Looky there.
Very cool. Cool, but that's got a background, no?
It does have a background. That top one does, yeah. you're going to become a pro where you start to see. Now, I know that these are Christmas colors. I'm not going there. I am going to recolor them. But this just goes to show that you can find something that you may not think will work because of its color. And see how this one goes up a little bit, Robin? How it kind of starts lower and goes up. I'm going to use this little circle in the middle here, and that's going to let me change the angles. So that's really cool. Now I'm trying to make it a little bit more symmetrical.
By the way, for those of you who aren't aware of every designer's best friend, Command Z or Control Z is, don't do that again, don't do that again, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back.
Oh, I just did it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Command Z, my friends, Command Z.
It is the best thing.
So I'm gonna go ahead and dangle these from my whiteboard.
Very cool.
I love it. I'm gonna click format. I'm gonna recolor. Let's see what I got here. I like the teal. That's very fun.
Ooh, it goes with your poster.
Goes with
You've
my
got some teal on the poster.
Yes. And now I can bring my little Yeti cup down. Ooh, it did exactly what I was hoping. All right, my friends, we're going to talk about layering, arranging our items. I love this. This is also going to probably give you an ulcer at some point during your design phase. It's just not going to work right, but we're here. So if you notice, my awesome, probably very expensive Yeti coffee cup back here is behind my desk. I want it to be on top of my desk. That's where it goes. So I'm going to select my coffee cup and I'm going to go to Arrange. Arrange is up here in my toolbar in between Slide and Tools. I'm going to click Order and I'm going to bring that bad boy to the front.
Yes.
Now, that is a top layer in my flat image. My coffee cup is now at the front of all of those images behind it. That will allow me to place it on top of items and make it look like it's sitting.
Yep.
Super cool feature. So I'm going to make this coffee cup tiny. I'm going to set it right here on the corner of my desk. And I'm going to let that just kind of hang out there.
And Reshma, I'm just going to, hopefully I'm not butchering your name and I apologize. You're right. It is great for elementary kids, but you can make these things really sophisticated to be very much interesting to even the older kids. So don't look at this and say, oh, it's so cartoony. You know, my 12th graders aren't going to like it. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring in just a little laptop, just doing the same things over and over, guys. Bringing in some items. I'm going to turn it a little. And you notice the more that you manipulate those items, the more dimensional they look. All right, so let's see. Because we talked about those secondary aspects, let's go ahead and start bringing in some of the fun stuff. What should we bring in next here, Robin?
How about a plant? And then can you show people how to link it to the things? Since we have about 15 minutes or so of everybody's time left.
Cool.
And just to allow some time for Q&A, but plants are always, I always have a plant in my room, at least one. Sometimes they die because I forget they're there, but I try to put them next to the pictures of my children because even in pictures, I've got that eye on my kids, and then I see the plant and I'm like, oh crap, I don't want this one to die.
Oh, I love, yeah. I'm going to save the plant for Giphy because I think that that's super fun.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to put this down. Oh, no, I don't think it's going to work. Let's rotate it and just see. Trying to do something fun for like day one here. Rolling out the red carpet for my kid.
Nice.
That wasn't what I wanted. Flip horizontally. Nope, doesn't look like it's going to work for me. Okay, so carpets, insert. That's the name of the game with these, y'all. It just, sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't.
That's design, though. It's trial and error.
one of our members found a really cool carpet and she got it to work absolutely perfectly. I like to search clip art just because it kind of gives me those dimensional options. If you find one, it's going to look more flatter in its image. So when you pull it up, you're gonna see, oh, this one. I love this one. I can recolor it. I've used it a lot. I don't even need to recolor this one because it's already kind of what I need.
Nice.
So same thing, arrange. I'm gonna send it behind my desk. So I'm gonna send it backward. And then I'm gonna select my desk and I'm gonna bring my desk forward. And I'm gonna do that until I can bring it over top.
Right. Now you don't want to bring the desk to the front because then the desk is going to go in front of the cup and the computer.
Right.
And you don't want to send the rug to the back because then the rug's going to go behind the whole scene.
Yep.
So you have to make sure that you're sending backward or sending to back.
Yes. And while I'm on this, because you just saw how I had such an issue with 3 items, I'm going to select my coffee cup, click Shift on my keyboard, click my laptop, and then click my desk. And I'm going to actually make this one item. So I'm going to go to Arrange, and I'm going to do Group. Because I'm on a Mac, you also have the option of clicking Command Option G. And that's going to now make this one item. So when I move it, all of them move together. All right, guys, you can add in additional whiteboards. You can add in tasks lists, all kinds of stuff, more chairs, bookcases, all those good items. But we're going to move into links. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to bring in a window. And I'm going to bring in a window because I want to show you how to add in some sound. Windows are a weird image to bring in. Some of them work great. Some of them don't work great at all. You have to place something behind them or find one that already has an image. So I'm going to choose this beach scene because I'm going to pretend that I can see the beach outside my window in my classroom.
You can't?
I can't.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
You know,
That's a
I really should have taken more quarantine time and gone and did the beach, but I just haven't done it.
Well, if you worked at Park Vista, you'd get to see the beach all the time.
Oh, looky there. Shameless plug. One of us drives there. One of us goes there. All right, so let's talk about sound, my friends. It's really cool in Google how you can search ocean sounds, MP3, free, download. So I already have one in my drive. In all, it's going to give you all kinds. I chose orangefreesounds.com, Calm Ocean Sounds. And when you go in here, it'll let you preview them. This looks a little scary because it's a very programmer-friendly website, but it's not, I promise.
No, right.
And you can do the free download, and that's awesome. So inside my slide, after I've downloaded, I can insert and I can click the audio tab. So audio is going to give me my options. So in my drive, I have all of these different downloads. So for those of you that have seen my House one, downloaded me some Flowrida and threw that right in there, which I love. But I'm going to select my Calm Ocean Sound. And I'm going to bring, oh, all these people need access. We're just going to turn link sharing on.
Yes, that's very important. Make sure that when you do this, that you're giving people access to view so that they can actually see what you've spent all of this time on.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then we can hear it. I love that. Nice and soothing. So that is like what Steph had in a YouTube. So you can use YouTube videos. You can download them directly to your computer, however you want to do it. But this way, as your students are coming in, you can bring in some just soft sounds. If you are a music teacher and you're studying someone, go ahead and play it. If there's some really cool background music for Hamilton, I know one of our members is teaching Hamilton, throw that stuff in there. That is next level for your students, and that is so cool. All right, so I'm going to make my thumbtack and my poster a little bit smaller, and I'm gonna bring it over here behind my desk because we're moving into Giphy, and then I can start linking. And I'm so excited.
See, notice that she did not say Jiffies. Just saying.
I
had to throw that one out there. Just had to say it.
Tomato. I mean, we say toilet where I'm from in Southern Illinois, so don't hold it against me. My husband still makes fun of me for all the weird things I say. So, my friends, this is Giphy. Somewhere Jess Clausen is freaking out. She is so excited that this is going right now, and I'm pumped about it. Giphy is essentially a public domain for all the fun stuff and not always the most student appropriate things because anybody can put anything on there. It's kind of like Wikipedia for fun stuff. But you can find so many cool things here. So
yes, and you can make your own.
Yes, and you can make your own. And you also don't have to log in. So it's easy to go and grab something. If your students, say we had some really rough weather the night before and you know that your kids are going to come in, they're going to be tired, it's going to be a rough morning, you can go and find something really, really cool to add in to your slide for that day and just kind of set the tone, okay? Bring them back in, make it fun. So one of the ones that I saw is my husband had football highlights in his office on a TV. So cool. Your kids are going to freak out and they're not even going to know that it's a GIF. So I'm actually going to search Beyonce.
Oh,
I know.
Look at you, fancy.
You know, who doesn't like a little Beyonce moment? I feel like we all do like a little Beyonce, right?
Queen Bee, perhaps?
She is.
You're Queen Bee.
So like I said, not all of them are the most appropriate. So, hold your hands.
Choose accordingly.
You've got little kids in the room. But the cool thing about it is it gives you two options. So you have the GIFs and you have the stickers. Stickers are transparent, which is really, really cool. And I'm going to show you planters with that. And I'm also going to bring in a nice little flamingo for Robin because I feel like her life is not complete unless we do that. All right. So say it is my first day and I want everybody in. I'm excited and I'm like, all right, I'm having my Beyonce moment. This is intense. I feel this. I'm going to click.
Well, you like glitter. You are the glitter girl.
I'm going to click copy link in the right-hand side and I'm going to Command C on my Apple, Control C, right click, copy, whatever you want. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to go back into my slide. Here's where it gets a little tricky. Insert image by URL.
Ah.
I'm going to paste it in. There she is.
It's creepy.
It's almost like I have it falling down on me right now. It's here.
You're channeling your inner Beyonce.
I love her.
Yes.
You know what? There we go. All right, so I'm going to drop shadow it over here in my formatting options. I'm also going to go up here and I'm going to change the outside of my image to black lines. I'm going to make it pretty thick. Maybe not that thick because that doesn't really look like a computer or a TV. And then I'm going to just pull her over a little. And now it looks like I have a TV on my wall repping Beyonce.
Cool.
And
very cool.
If I wanted to, I could go up here. I could go to Beyonce music videos.
I know what you're gonna do.
I'm gonna link her.
You're gonna link her.
We got formation. She's probably not the most appropriate artist to have in here, but I'm gonna go ahead and we're just gonna grab Beyonce YouTube. Command C. I'm going to take her whole YouTube channel here. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to click on my image.
This is the important part. This is what you really are ultimately going for.
I'm going to click the little chain. So it's like two chains connected together. And I'm going to paste that link in and apply it. So then now when my students go over my TV, they can go directly to Beyonce's YouTube and they can watch her videos. But another really cool way, Robin, we got a few more minutes. I'm going to show you how to insert some of your curriculum videos.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So I am a big code.org teacher. I love code.org. I'm going to search code.org videos. And say I know that I am going through a tutorial. My students are just now starting code.org, and they're like, what is this all about? And you know what? Somebody else over in Horry County Schools spent 6 minutes doing this, and they will probably listen to them for those whole 6 minutes, way more than they would listen to me for 2.5. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this YouTube link. And I'm going to insert, and instead of doing image, now I'm going to do video. Insert video. YouTube automatically pops up. So if you want to show kid president on your first day, you can Google kid president videos right into here and click the search tool, and YouTube is going to give you kid president videos.
Right.
Okay. If I want to do it by URL, which is what I just did, I'm going to Control V. I'm going to add it in there. I'm going to make sure it's the right one. I'm going to click Select. I'm going to resize it from the corner. And I'm going to bring it right into my whiteboard. That way my
And now you can also, because some people are asking too, you can either edit the video to start and end at a particular spot.
Absolutely.
And you can have something on repeat. That's all, like when you put it in there and then you format it, you have the ability to just, those things will loop or only play on click.
Yep.
There's tons of options.
Right over here in that format options, this toolbar is your best friend. And we've barely left 3 slides. We've got Giphy, we've got YouTube, we've got Google, remove if you need it. But other than that, you really haven't gone much further outside of your slides, which is really cool. So I'm going to finish this off so that we can do a little bit of Q&A. I'm going to move this up a little. I'm going to go in here, and now we're going to use the sticker. So let's find our palm tree for Robin. And I'm going to use a sticker over a GIF because I want this to kind of be a standalone object. And I know, I'm going to pull this one in because I think it's super pretty.
Love it.
Same
Love it.
thing.
Love it.
I'm going to copy, insert, image, by URL, paste it in. And you know what? This is how you know that I really, really love you, Robin, because I'm going to cover Beyonce with a little bit of a history. I know. It was about to happen. So I can go ahead and put my palm tree over here in my corner, and then I can make it super fun by adding in all kinds of different objects. If you want a cat that walks around the room, if you want a dog that kind of waves there and says hello to everybody, or if you are like the global GEG phenomenon of Florence the Flamingo.
We love Florence. Everybody loves Florence. And if you're watching this and you don't know who Florence is, then you need to go back and watch some of the global GEG videos because Florence inevitably makes an appearance.
So which one do you want, Robin? We've got this one. So this one is kind of hanging out. Let's see what else.
You pick.
Dancers.
Totally
Oh, this one.
I like the funky dancer.
Do you want backup dancers or a single dancer?
Let's get backup dancers. Come on, I'm Queen Flamingo or something like that instead of Queen Bee.
Where are my other GEG peeps? I feel like this is all of us. Image by URL.
Jody, this is fair warning, Jody. Just saying. And Stephanie.
See this in a classroom.
Are we dancing now?
We are dancing. We're dancing. We're dancing.
For my
This has been great.
show. I gotta bring
Absolutely.
my Bitmoji in. Here she comes. All right, so for those of you that watch the tutorial video, up in the top right-hand corner, puzzle piece, add the extension, Bitmoji for Chrome extension. Once your Bitmoji for Chrome extension is in there, You can go ahead, search whatever Bitmoji you're looking for, bring him or her right in to your slide, and
That was kind of the whole point of this, wasn't it? To get yourself in there.
of celebration.
Yes, definitely a celebration. That was awesome.
You did it.
Oh, you know what, Danielle? How can you share this with your students without them being able to manipulate things and not necessarily having to create a master slide?
Yes, so that's a big deal. So obviously, like Robin said, if you want to create a master slide, you can do that. So in your slide option, it has edit master. Now, master slide will apply the same background to the entire deck. So that's how you create a theme, essentially. All right. If you do not want to have that happen, but you don't want your students in there manipulating, you want them to just find the links. So if I were to make my flamingos just a little bit smaller over here.
What's wrong with the flamingos?
I'm gonna just link my email really quick.
Okay, fine.
So if I wanted to add my email up here on the screen, I could go in and insert a text box. And my regular school email, danielle.clark@Palm Beach, not Clam, that happens so much, palmbeachschools.org. I'm going to highlight it, click those two chains again over here, link them. Now students can send me an email directly from this slide, but when I click the present, where's my link?
And we wait 100 years because of bandwidth, but that's okay.
I know, Robin, keep talking, I'm froze.
Oh, no. Don't forget the extension on the URL.
There we go. Okay. It's not showing it to me. Keep going, Robin.
Okay.
When you present, go ahead.
A, B, C, D. I'm not sure what you want me to do, but that's okay. When you go up into the URL, at the very end of the URL, you'll see a backslash or forward slash. I'm never sure what you call that one.
Edit.
You got it?
Got it. I found it.
It's the one that goes like that, or actually, because you're watching me in reverse, like, I don't know. It does this somehow.
Oh, it's a forward slash. Okay. So up here in the forward slash, you're going to take everything off of this.
This is a great tech tip, just telling you.
So everything after your forward slash, and we have a Bitmoji tutorial guide we're going to be shooting out to you guys. Everything after edit. So you're going to remove edit and all those goobly gobble that comes after that. Delete it, and you're going to click preview. This is what you can then take and send to your students, and you notice all of that stuff goes away. So as you share things, let me get to that one. Of course, it's
this way they can't manipulate it. It basically goes automatic. As soon as they open that link, it automatically opens up into presentation mode.
Yep.
They cannot get out of presentation mode. They can't move anything. So sometimes it is easier than the master slide, because I know that was kind of coming up in the chat, and I've used master slides a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. You could totally do that as well. But this forces them to watch it as the slideshow, or just having that one slide, that you just have one Bitmoji Classroom, which is totally fine if you've got, depending on what you're teaching, but it forces them in there, and it works wonderfully.
Yes. So I stopped on this slide because I just want to finish here before we keep going. I added in just a simple 12-minute timer from Google. And then up here, my students can click on this. They can go to a 10-minute yoga with Adrienne session.
Yoga. I hear yoga is really good for wellness.
It's coming up. I can't wait to talk about it. I also have Reflect down here, where I've created just a doodle journal in Draw. Like, this takes no time at all, guys. And so many of our kids are so creative, and they want to doodle, and they're not getting to sit at a desk with a pen and paper and let them go. Play for 12 minutes, doodle, bring some stuff in, totally awesome.
It's a brain break.
It is a brain break. They can code, they can go to scratchorcode.org, they can read. So I have some Smithsonian journals tagged into here, Smithsonian for Teens.
Oh.
I know. And then this one's super fun. They can go color. Digital coloring sheets.
Oh,
Nice.
sweet.
That's awesome.
How soothing is that?
I need those.
We talked about my little slugs earlier. I love my slugs. So for those of you that didn't see additional linking options, other things that you can do is link your Bitmojis, or not your Bitmojis, your Giphies. And so you can click here and it will go right to my Google site for my kids.
Nice.
I know, that's super fun. I'm gonna turn my sound off here. I know those ocean sounds. My parents, when they want to do a link with me, they can come in here and do a Calendly link. I'm available. I can also change that to I'm out of office, which is really cool that your Bitmoji can add different words. And then also I've got my Verdi homepage, different things like that. So that's how links really work. And that's what's going to make it so customizable for your needs at virtual teaching.
Yeah, you can link it to curriculum. You can link it to online textbooks. You can link it to even a doc in your drive that you need the kids to complete. Like the links are endless. You can put anything on there. You really can.
Yeah. So I'm seeing a ton of stuff in the chat on arranging items. So send to back, send to front. If you want it on top of something, bring it to the front. If you want it behind, send it backward. Remember, if you send something all the way to the back, it's going to go behind your background, okay? And then also adding your own voice to your Bitmoji. So extending out all of those animation options are something that our gig has talked about covering a little bit more. That's a Bitmoji 2.0, but there's tons of sites out there. There are options from just using the video software on your phone to incorporating almost like digital slideshows through slides and then playing them. You can always do cool things with Screencastify. Jody is kind of our video wizard, so I look forward to having her and Eric kind of combine their skills with Steph's just unknown amount of knowledge of where she's seen all these banners and animated stuff. So we've got some really cool things coming out of this group, and yeah, there's probably some extensions. Alexandra, you are on it.
We are going to drop in here in just a minute the feedback form. And what we really ask from you is, like, just be honest, because there's a question on there about what was good. There was a question on there about what wasn't. And then there's another question on what would you like to see next. So if you want to see more Bitmoji stuff, we'll do more Bitmoji stuff. And if you want me to not wear this hat again, I can not wear this hat again. It's okay. So do we have any other questions that need to be addressed? I know we kind of kept you guys about 10 minutes late, and we're sorry we ran over, but we get excited about this, and it really is a huge thing right now because we need to connect with our kids. It's so important in this virtual world that we're in, because down here in Palm Beach County in South Florida, we're going all virtual. The kids don't have an option, and we need to be able to connect with them on a human level without being in person.
Yeah.
And this is just a great way to be able to do that.
Sorry, I'm just scrolling through one last time for all these cool things. You can link videos of yourself if you're walking students through how to use Google Classroom for the first time. I have 6th graders, so a lot of my first week is just going to be talking about the expectation of being a middle school. This is just like a video I filmed of myself on Adobe Spark, where half of it's my whiteboard, half of it's me. What does it mean to be accountable? What does it mean to just, I don't know, talk about stuff in a class discussion, and how am I accountable for my attendance? All of that kind of stuff.
Pamela's got a great question. She said, how did you get the clothes to match your outfits? Did you match the Bitmoji choices or change the Bitmoji? Pamela, the professional side of me says it just comes natural. However, the real side of me says I scrolled through that Bitmoji wardrobe until I found something that I had. So, you can take it any way you want.
I got lucky. That's the answer to that one. And as always, we chose Google Slides to add our Bitmoji classrooms in because as a group, I think we're all just obsessed with the cohesiveness of the suite. I'm able to incorporate virtual tours through Google Maps. I'm able to incorporate slides. I can use Sheets to add data into any of my stuff and it goes right in. I can download my virtual notebook into Docs and have it right there for my students when they log in. Everything with Google, and really the whole gag is, pro Google, just because it works, y'all. It just keeps everything in a spot for you. It all goes to your drive. All of these cool things that you do in your Bitmoji update. So every time you change them, they are updated. It's the smartest platform, I'm convinced. Sorry for all my Microsoft folks. Krista's hollering at me. All my UF folks out there are hollering at me because I love Teams, but I'm going to continue to throw my confetti every time I turn something in on Teams, which I love. But I love the Google software and the collaboration is so cool. So get with your co-teachers, create some spaces, create a theme. I love department themes. So my elementary peeps, design together. Have your kids be welcome back. 6th grade teams, we're looking through, adding in stuff with everybody. So this has been an absolute pleasure.
Yes, and just as a little side note, I like that you stopped here because we recently did a What the What Wednesday on virtual field trips that Jody did for us. So if you check out our website, we'll drop that link in there real soon. You can see Jody's What the What on virtual field trips. And we also, starting on Monday, we are doing, GEG South Florida is hosting a week of wellness. And it's going to be fabulous. And if you're interested, please check out our website and you'll be able to figure out what it is that we're doing every day. We have Meditation Monday, we have Tranquility Tuesday, we have Wind Down Wednesday, Thoughtful Thursday, and Foodie Friday. So it's going to be fabulous. And as soon as we get that link for you, we'll drop it in and you can check out everything. If there are any other questions, please drop them in. All right, I'm getting hand motions that's our site, but I'm not sure. Jody, can you explain? Sorry.
Oh,
you're on screen, Jody.
I got it in the chat. I was trying to ask you to put it in as
I got it.
clickable one.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've got our Week of Wellness we'll be sharing out. So this is the flyer. We'll be throwing out the links for that. And then we also have a beginner Bitmoji tutorial guide that we'll be shooting out too. We can go ahead and link those in the chat if you guys are still there. But this was amazing. I have to tell you, my stomach was in my throat, everybody. I was so nervous. Letitia, I'm so sorry. Letitia, email me. I would love to do this with you one-on-one.
Also, Letitia, if you scroll back in the chat, when you rewatch this, you'll see the beginning part of it where Danielle did like an intro tutorial a couple of days ago to help you set up your Bitmoji. And then you can rewatch this particular video as many times as you want. It'll be on YouTube forever. And you can also slow it down and it might be able to give you a chance to really kind of catch up and synthesize all of this information. Anything else that we need to address? Wow, we kept you guys super long, and I'm sorry, but like I said, we do kind of get excited about it. Follow us on. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at GEG SoFla, and we are also on Facebook, and we are Google Educator Group of South Florida on Facebook. We have so many cool things coming up. We are going to blow your mind. Tomorrow we have Nearpod and Flocabulary. So make sure you check in for that because there's a super special treat for that one.
That's some good stuff, y'all. I secured the bag with Nearpod. I'm pumped.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away. All right, so I think we need to let these people go, Danielle. I'm sorry.
I don't want to. Don't you all want to hang out with me forever? Because that's what I want to do.
It's been fun. We really thank everybody for coming out and supporting us tonight. Please fill out that feedback form. This way we know what it is that you're expecting from us. We are here to help you. We are here to support you in any way possible, whether it's wellness, whether it's tech, anything you need. That's our mission in life.
Yes.
So
holler at
thank
us.
you, I'm going to bring Jody back up. And we're going to, and Stephanie back up, and we're going to say a nice good night, everybody, or good morning, depending on where you are in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Bye. Thanks,
coming.
guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.